Oh.
Go Kirk!
Oh.
Go Kirk!
This is the slowest race of my whole junior season, but it's the one that I'll remember for the rest of my life. To find out why, we gotta go through the whole season. Sorry guys. Peace. What's fun to just catch up with people. Eugene, Oregon. Yeah. They couldn't catch me. Alright guys, it's race day. Gonna race in about an hour 20. So, did some breath work, gonna visualize a little bit, and I'm feeling ready. Yeah, that's a lie. I was not feeling that ready at all. I woke up just like 2.5 hours before that. I had orange juice for breakfast and maybe a bar or something. Had to wake up pretty early for this because it was a 9 a.m. race. This was the first race of the season. So I was coming to this like pretty nervous. I didn't know what to expect at all. Yeah, so coming up to the starting line, I knew my whole family was there. Like my grandparents, my brother and my dad, my mom. My mom was filming this, and you can see I was started on the line. I was, you know, I was like pretty, I was pretty nervous. But honestly, like once the race went off, I got pretty locked in. I was still a little cerebral. I was still thinking a bit, but that's just how I run. So I felt like I was in a good position right here, like right behind the leader, and I felt a little pressure from the outside.
And Jensen, Kirk, Lord.
And we didn't get any splits for this, so I just kind of went based on effort. This first 400, I just tried to relax as much as possible. So coming around this bend, I was, you know, I was amped up, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna take the lead, because this doesn't feel incredibly fast, and I feel really good. So coming up to the bell, I basically just ratcheted up the effort a bit more to keep the same speed.
And McNeil.
300 left, that's when I make my move, and I heard someone's coach say, "Go after him, you got him,
Lord,
like you can catch him." And then like,
leading onto the backstretch.
I was just like, okay, bet. Can they catch me? So I ratcheted up the effort, and I start my kick, and 200 left, like that's when I try to seal the deal. And with the 100 left, I was like, oh, is he right on me? And I was just like, basically just running I was just kicking as hard as I could, and I was like, yeah, let's go, let's go. This is actually kind of fun now.
Kirk coming down the home stretch. Kirk at his summit. Get awful close here.
McNeil, just...
Guys, I finally beat my freshman PR. Now it's 2 minutes, 0.81. That was a perfectly run race. I could not expect anything better for myself. Coming up to the bell lap, I just put it into another gear. Started my kick with 300 left because I heard a bunch of their coaches yelling, "Hey, you can catch him, you can catch him." But they couldn't catch me. So literally the best 800 race I've ever run. Just overall perfect. Came out in first, got the medal. Let's go. So after that race, obviously I had some insane psychological momentum, but that momentum didn't all come from just the time. That momentum simply came from pushing myself as hard as I could. So even if I ran a lot slower, I would have gained a lot of momentum from that, simply because I went out there and gave it everything. The time is just icing on the cake. So after a really solid week and a half of training, we got back after it. It was more just me, Hayden and Bailey trying to see if we could break 2. It was the first race at Summit. It was the first race where like a lot of the team was gonna watch us. Still like early season, and we're still getting used to like the idea of like racing and the nerves that come with it. I was not feeling very good. I was like, dude, I feel like a 206. I don't feel that good. But you know, every time we step on that line, it doesn't matter how we feel. we just give everything. So I knew I wanted to lead from the front in the first lap because I just like leading. It felt like we went out pretty fast from what I remember. Coming around the bend to the home stretch, I felt not like super good, but like not horrible. And I felt like I could maintain this. So we went through at around 58, which was exactly what we wanted to do. And with 300 left, I saw the clock and it said 113, and I was like, we could actually do this. I just went even harder. I basically kicked at 300 to go. I just felt Hayden right behind me, and he held on. At 200 left, we were still going. My dad has this great picture right here. It just looks badass, man. That's all I gotta say. It's just so sick. At this point, it was like a perfect race. With 100 left, I was still in the lead, and then I felt Hayden go right to the side of me. And we were sprinting it out, going as hard as we can. We pushed each other right to the line. Hayden got me by 100th of a second. I mean, like, it was not for lack of effort. I kind of realized it wasn't about breaking two. It was more about pushing each other as hard as we could, regardless of what time you run. That's kind of the mindset that we kept for the rest of the season as a team. So a week and a half later, we went to Sherwood, had another good training week. I was definitely really confident coming into this race. And at this point, I was definitely getting used to the nerves that come with the race. So this one was like a little weird. I tried to get out fast, get out like near the front. I kind of ended up getting a little cut off by people. Even though I was boxed in, I still felt kind of comfortable being in that position. And coming through the bell lap, I was feeling pretty good, but I definitely saw the leader and the people in front of me getting a little bit of distance, and because of that I kind of broke free, and I kind of just trusted that the people in front of me would reel in, and it didn't really happen until 200 left when I passed the guy in 4th place. With 100 meters left, I was like, oh yeah, I can get another guy. I can get this Lincoln guy in front of me, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna get 3rd at a big invite. And then I didn't expect this, but I out-leaned the guy in 2nd.
For the victory here in the final heat of the boys 800. He takes a dive for the finish line.
Getting 2nd at my first big invite was like huge. It was a huge confidence booster, and I knew I ran 158 right after. I was like, yeah, I'm a 158 guy. And I got to stand on that podium. I was just patient and kind of trusted my kick and ended up 2nd. So at this point, I knew I was having a really consistent season. I knew that I could do well running at different spots in the race. It was a huge confidence booster for sure.
Today we're in beautiful Eugene, Oregon, and it's like raining hella, but we got Oregon Relays.
So Oregon Relays is like one of the best meets in the country, and it's hosted at Hayward Field. It's just so freaking awesome. The track just feels so fast. We had the DMR team, and they put me on the 1200, and the 1200 is a very weird race to run. It's kind of like a mysterious race. So I basically sprinted to the front just because that's what I like to do, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to lead a pack of 15 kids. And coming down the home stretch, I got passed, and I was like, that's fine. I just gotta conserve. Make sure that I don't run this like an 800. I gotta run it like a little bit faster than a mile race. That 2nd lap, I honestly did kind of fall asleep a little bit. Honestly, it did set me up for a really good closing lap just because I had so much energy in the last 400. With 400 to go, another kid passed me. I was still kicking it up a notch, and 300 to go, I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna take the lead. Like, why not? And with 200 left, I was in 1st place. Coming around the bend, I was like, dude, I could win this leg. I got passed around the outside. I dug deep and sprinted home. Split like a 3:16 or something. So it was a decent split. I could have ran that 2nd lap faster. I got that experience though. And a couple hours later, the team had me running the 800 leg on the sprint medley relay. And yeah, this is the race that I'll remember for the rest of my life. So Nick and Evans had like really good legs. They set Jake up in a really good position, and We handed off, they handed off to me in second. I went out fast and I was like, this is awesome, man. I'm running at Hayward Field at 9 p.m. It's like, it's misting, it's dark, it's freaking awesome. Coming through the bell lap, I got overtook and I was just like, no way, dude. No, that's not gonna fly. So I basically stuck with him and I kind of slingshotted down the backstretch. So 200 left, I just let everything loose. It was just amazing. Just kind of like letting everything free, just letting it go. And it didn't matter what the split was, it just mattered that I finished with nothing left. After that, I was forever known as Kirk Goggins. David Goggins is someone I really look up to, and you guys should definitely read his book. It's called Can't Hurt Me. His newest one is called Never Finish. He just has a really inspirational story. He came from nothing. Now like millions of people use him as a role model. So yeah, this was my slowest 800 of the season, but it was easily the best. I really feel like I fulfilled my potential that day. Whenever I'm doing something really hard, I'll always think back to this and know that I can always go harder. And maybe one day I'll surpass that. Basically, the results don't show you how tough you are. It's the effort that you know you put in. It's the fact that you did everything that you could in your power to achieve that result. That's why I will always remember this race. The very next day, I had another 800. I was the anchor of the 4x8. I went out in 56. I just wanted to get this over with, man. And, you know, I kind of paid the price. I knew I went out fast, but I didn't know I went out that fast. That used to be my 400 time. So that was a pretty tough finish. I ended up really tired, but I was like, you know what? I'm proud of what I gave this weekend. All right, today is a special day because we get to go out there and run 100. I haven't raced the 100 since like middle school, and I'm like primarily mid-distance focused, so I mean, might as well see where our speed's at. So they put me in the 100, might as well show up. And then a week later, I got thrown in the 1500 and I was almost puking before. I had the A-push test the day before, so I was still like mentally fatigued. My breakfast was not sitting well. You know, I was able to have a good sprint finish and I ended with a 407. Very, very painful race. It was really satisfying to throw down a really good 1500. So going into districts, I knew I had a really good chance of qualifying for the state meet. I knew that in order to run the best race I possibly could, I thought that leading from the front would be the best option for me.
That's it, Kirk! Let's go, Summit! Looking good, go!
I led through the first lap in about 58 seconds. Dane was right behind me. As always, I ratcheted up the effort at 400, again at 300, basically kicking at that point. And with 200 left, I was just staying relaxed. I thought I might be able to win this one. And I knew I had a spot at the state meet, but I just had to finish hard. And with 100 left, Dane just flew by. I went as hard as I could, and I ended up second and secured a spot at the state meet. It kind of hit me that all the injuries I had to go through, all the insane cross training, all the hard workouts, everything runners have to go through, staying on that path actually paid off. From basically not even being able to walk straight about a year and a half before that, working my way up to being the best athlete that I could be. There were times where I questioned whether I could get to the point where I could even run again. I questioned whether I could get under 2 minutes. I never questioned whether I could give 100% or not. By giving 100%, I got the opportunity to go to the state meet and give 100% again. And we made it in the 4x4 as well. So that's a bonus. So a week later, we lined up for the 800, and it was the biggest stage I have ever run on. And you know, if it's the biggest stage, you might as well go for it. So, and before the race started, I was just smiling. I was happy to see what I was capable of on that stage.
On your mark.
Donington, then Lord, then Gessler and Caldera. It is Donington.
Even though it seemed like everyone was passing me at the end, I didn't panic. I kept sprinting as hard as I could, and I recognized that that was everything that I had. After the race, I was smiling. I was smiling because I knew I found out what I was capable of on that stage.
Mitchell and Hawking, lane 3. Thurston running well, red line off top Thurston Valley. It's Adam Talasi leading off Crescent Valley. Thurston.
Bailey looks good.
Centennial knows David Galicius. And really kind of history.
As soon as I got the baton, I just sprinted as hard as I could out to the front. And I was in the lead by a little bit, and I saw the board, and I was like, "Oh, this kid's right on me. I gotta go."
Crescent Valley, Daniel Marshall put the pressure on up front at Summit. Jason Kirk Ward, and Summit.
Come on, kid.
Crescent
Way to go,
Valley.
atta babe. Yeah, baby. Yeah, kid.
Summit. Evans Peters.
We ended up getting second in the heat and 7th overall for Oregon 5A. So that was it for the summit season, and I just wanted to do one last meet. I ended up doing the steeplechase, which was an insanely hard, unexpectedly hard race. It is so hard to hop over barriers, and the water jump is so underrated. It is so you're like basically jumping like 6 feet down into water and you gotta go back up. And I ended out the season with one last 400-meter race.
Come on, Kirk. Let's go, Kirk! Let's go, Goggins!
So overall, what I got from this season is that I want to know what time I'm capable of. But if you only focus on the time, you spend so much energy thinking about something you can't even control. If you pay attention to the effort that you give, that will eventually lead you to finding what you are capable of. And that's why times aren't everything. But in my opinion, effort is. If you don't give 100%, you'll never know what you're capable of. So today, get the after it. Peace.